Hello viewers, well we got our hands on the new Thrustmaster Ferrari 599 Evo 30 rim last week. I've been playing with that and enjoying it, and you can see here just the new Alcantara material, as long as I've said that right, on the front there. It gives it that nice sort of racing feel. The rim is slightly larger than previous rims, so slightly larger than say the leather rim or the old Ferrari one. It's thinner than the old Ferrari and the leather rim as well, so that means you can use gloves. All the buttons there similarly placed, so no changes there, but mainly it's the shape, size and weight of the wheel. Now it's considerably lighter than the previous rims, and I think the first game I wanted to test it on was R3E Racer Mix Racing Experience with Spa, which was released recently, and so this video simply looks at this new track and that they've included in there while testing out the wheel. Now the first thing about the wheel is it gives you that authentic touring car feel. That's good. The lighter rim means you feel greater force feedback through the wheel as well, which is always nice on the different titles. It just gives it a bit more kick in the wheel. It's, you know, it's great that it's a bit less weight on the internal motor, essentially, giving you that force feedback feeling. Besides that, obviously the rim is slightly thinner than the previous versions, and it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in that it's slightly larger, it feels, you know, slightly more real in that way, but I find that I hold the wheel quite tight, so occasionally my right hand, you'll see me just loosening a bit, just because it's a slightly smaller rim, it's tight around the thumb, and that's because you can actually wear gloves while using this rim. Now, I know a lot of people use gloves. I've tried gloves, and it was put to me a couple of years ago, why don't you try some gloves, because it would look more authentic on some of the racing videos when you can see my hands there and no gloves on them. I tried the gloves, but I just didn't get a feeling for the buttons and the wheel. I just couldn't drive as well with the gloves on. I just didn't feel as right. It's nothing like a real car. It didn't have the amount of vibration and force feedback, and the wheel is slightly smaller. The difference with this rim now is that because it's thinner, you can wear some gloves and it's much more comfortable to wear in that sense, and it's designed for that, so that's very handy. But the main thing is you have an authentic rim, and I mentioned the material a couple of years ago when I tried the Ferrari GTE wheel, and I said, you know, it's a great looking wheel, looks like the real car wheel, but doesn't have the material on it. It doesn't have the finishing touch that makes it authentic. It has that now. So yeah, I mean, I know some of you enjoyed my unboxing video, you know, some of you didn't, but the way I look at it is it's getting a steering wheel rim out of a box. I mean, it can only be so exciting. You know, the excitement of something like this is not in getting it out of the box, it's a very simple product. It's in attaching it and racing with it and getting that feeling. So I'm working my way around here. And just a quick, I should apologise, the camera, unfortunately, I was wearing my headphones, I completely forgot. I usually wear my headphones with the GoPro, and they're slightly in the way of the camera there on this video, so apologies about that. So you still have the same over the shoulder view, but I think it gives it a nice authentic look. It should be noted now that I've reduced my R3E coverage to the single screen now rather than using triple screens, simply because the frame rate was dropping more and more, and the quality on triple screens, because they've not activated SLI yet, and I want frame rate, you know, I want fidelity and frame rate, so I've dropped it down to the single screen for the moment when running these videos until they bring that in. Also, not to mention, there aren't the triple screen controls, so I don't really benefit in some respects from having the extra view, because it is quite heavily distorted and affects some games more than others. So cockpit cam, great audio. As for the course, just having a quick look at the game, nice rendition of the course, and you know, coming from Forza Motorsport where I was scrambling around every corner, you know, having to do opposite lock almost on every turn, it's nice to get something that just feels more intuitive again. You know, you're feeling the suspension a bit more, you're feeling the turn in, you know, you're able to drive it on the racing line and find the limit. The funny thing is about R3E is when you go back to the original cars, you see just how poor they were in comparison to, say, the new ones, such as the Le Mans cars and stuff. They bounce around a lot, they don't feel right, they're very understeery. These new cars are much more responsive, they feel more authentic, they're more natural, they're more intuitive, they handle much better. So it means I can position the car, you know, where I want to. I can get more performance, and I can push more on those corners and really sort of lean on the tyres more, and that's a great feeling. You know, not a lot of games and sims, you know, really give you in that way. So it's nice to see that they're improving that bit by bit, and you know, it's coming along. Visually, it's nice enough. It's not groundbreaking, but it's a nice enough rendition. And the cockpit cam, obviously, move your field of view, and I've moved it to a place where it suits me. It gives me a sort of wide enough view to see my mirror. I would have normally been a bit closer, but I wanted to see a little bit of the action going on behind me. It just helps me having that mirror. Do miss having your mirrors when you zoom right in on a, say, a full size, authentic size Upper Rouge, and car going slightly light, so it's understeering slightly there. Different with every car. I mean, I did with this wheel. I've tested with this. I've tested with Project Cars. I've tested with Formula 1 2015. I've tested with Drive Club. So really, just getting a feel for the different games. Yeah, some of them you even need to tune down the force feedback now. You don't need it quite so high. That's good. It means you won't burn out your wheels so quickly. A lot of people use really high force feedback. I don't, primarily because wheel preservation. You know, if you do put 100% force feedback on every game and you do fight your wheel in every corner, your wheel will break all the sooner. You know, it happens to a lot of people, and they really think they can fight with it, and you can, but you are damaging it. So if you just reduce it a little bit, you can still get your force feedback, but don't kill the wheel in the process, and it lasts you many years longer. So going a bit wide there, I clipped a curb on the inside on the way in, and was pushing a bit harder every lap. You know, I'm in the lead now, so I often do this on videos where I think, you know, yeah, I could run the track 6 or 7 races before making a video, but that's not what I want to do. You know, I want to you know, learn and show that learning. You know, show the finding the breaking points and where you miss an apex, and then you learn that, and next time you hit that apex, and so on. You know, you get better and better and better, and then when you're hitting all of your apexes, you're constantly doing things to find a little bit more time, different techniques that work for each corner, different gears, and that's where you find the incremental steps to take you from where you are to being among the top players, if you want to really go down that road and really hone your skills. But obviously when you get to the top, then it's about intuitive, you know, skill, and then that's down to obviously how talented you are as a player. So coming around again, I don't know how many laps we have left in this race, but in a commanding position right now. Nice replay cameras as well. I think we'll have a look at the replay cameras here, and we'll see as it hovers over the track. There's some really nice TV camera viewpoints they've given it. So many games get it wrong. Forza was a mess of its cameras, but look at that wonderful view. Again of Eau Rouge coming up there, much better this time, taking the correct line. That's good. Not even needing to use all the track. Car not getting too light at the top. And really nice zooms. You can see they're going all the way down the straight, and that's the authentic camera. People remember Mika Hakkinen and overtaking Michael Schumacher there, Zonto between them. Great views, and of course then up the top of the hill there when Michael Schumacher pushed off Damon Hill when he had to take the escape road. Classic Formula 1 racing days, back when racing was racing more than a branding exercise. Now, so generally speaking, yeah, nice looking circuit, and the wheel rim is something that I've enjoyed a great deal. I'm going to talk about it more in other videos. I should also point out here the audio is coming from the bumper cam, not from the cockpit cam, which I had a problem with the cockpit cam audio, had to replace that with a bumper cam, but nevertheless R3E does have awesome audio, has to be said. Well done to the audio man, because he's really done a cracking job throughout, and as I understand it, with limited equipment to sort it. So it just shows what can be done when you understand, you know, when you understand the imperfections of perfect audio. I think that's the thing. So really attacking those curbs this time. See the car bouncing around a lot. We're on this final lap. Not necessarily quicker when you do that, but it's nice to just attack the track a bit more. And I was just enjoying it, just enjoying the feel with the wheel, just like giving me that authentic feel. Had so much more to it. And coming around around those final few corners, hitting that braking for the bus stop, the old bus stop, around there. So we've got different variations of the course. I haven't checked them all out yet, but I will do on future videos. But I thought I'd complete this run anyway, just to show off a bit of the wheel, bit of the game. And that's it from me, and more from me very soon.